Well, howdy there, pluckers. Ivysaur Fingers again with you. Yet another hopefully interesting lesson for you. This one is aimed at all you Shadows fans out there. Classic one of their hits called Nivram. Okay. Now, hopefully you will have seen I did a demo version of my arrangement on this song a few days ago. Hopefully you've seen that. So this is hopefully going to teach you how to play, those of you that are interested, the rhythm and the lead parts to this song, okay, with the way I arranged it. So in standard tuning, no capos, doing it in the same key as the Shadows original version, in the key of G, okay. So let's get to it. So now on the original version they go straight into it. Now I didn't do that because I'm trying to put both parts together. I needed some sort of timing reference to match the two parts together, so I put on a little bass part which leads into it, okay, which is that okay, and then I knew exactly where I was, okay. So if you want to put that on there, it's very simple. It's palm muted to make it sound more like a bass guitar, back edge of the hand here, resting somewhere near the bridge on the bassy strings, the thicker strings mainly, okay, very lightly, and you get that sort of fuddy sort of bass sound. And what I played was this. It's an open D string to the 5th fret on the D string, the 4th string, just open D and then to the 5th fret on the D, then to the 3rd on the 4th string, 2nd on the 4th string, 1st on the 4th string, open 4th string, 3rd fret of the 5th string, 2nd fret of the 5th string, open 5th string, and you're in, if you're playing rhythm or the lead, okay. So it's okay. So that's the intro that I put on there. So that's straightforward. Now the rhythm to the actual verse, okay. This is all a jazzy feel to this song, so it's stabby. It's like that sort of feel, yeah. So to get that, what you do is whatever chord you're playing, okay, is you fret the chord and you strike it down, downstroke, and immediately you've struck the chord you release the pressure on the fretting hand. You lift, just keep the same shape, obviously keep the chord shape, but you just take the pressure off and that mutes the sound, kills it, okay. So as soon as I'm striking the chord, see, I'm holding it down, I strike the chord and immediately let go of the pressure, and then put it, as soon as I've done that, I put it back on again for the next strike. And you end up with that, okay? And you do that for all the chords in this song. Okay? So that's what I'm doing chord wise, and it's all down strokes, okay? So what we're doing now is the rhythm for the verse is starting off with a G chord, but I'm playing it like this. I'm going to show you the way I play it. If you want to play different shapes of the same chord, please do, but I'm going to show you the way I did it, okay. So my first chord is a G chord played like this. It's basically an F shape on the 3rd fret, but this modified, this 3rd finger goes up to the 5th string, 5th fret, and the pinky takes over on the 5th fret of the 4th string. So, and the other thing I tend to do is I tend to rest my thumb against the bottom E string to stop it sounding if I hit it by accident, so it mutes it, right? Okay, just rest it, don't push on it, or just rest it, okay. So that's your G chord, and it starts off with like do do. Now we go to a C minor, okay. Very simple C minor, basic C minor chord like this, okay. So top E string, 1st finger, 3rd fret, 2nd finger, 4th fret of the 2nd, 3rd finger is playing the 5th fret of the 4th string, the D string, and 3rd pinky is playing the 3rd string on the 5th fret. Okay, so you're only now on this chord, you're only really going for the top 4 strings. So you've got to aim at the top 4 strings. And it's the same idea. You fret the chord, strike the chord, release the pressure to kill it, then put the pressure back on, strike it again, repeat, repeat. Okay. Okay, and the third chord is a D7. Played like this. This is what's called an inside chord in the old days. We used to call this an inside chord because you're only actually sounding the 5th, 4th, 3rd and 2nd strings. You're not sounding the bottom E or the top E. Okay, so if you can imagine a C chord, standard C chord, and you make it a C7 by adding your pinky to the 3rd fret of the 3rd string, the G string, that's a C7. So you want a D7, so you just take it up 2 frets. The whole shape goes up 2 frets. Okay, that's your D7. Again, rest your thumb against the bottom E string so that it mutes it. Okay, and this first finger generally leans over. When you fret the chord, it'll lean over and mute the top E very conveniently for you as well. Okay, so when you strike it, you don't hear the bottom E, you don't hear the top E. Okay, so those are your 3 chords to start the actual rhythm off on the verse. Okay, it goes as do 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 do. Okay, so it's 2 lots of 4 strikes on the G chord. 2, 3, 4. 2 hits on the C minor and 2 hits on the D7. Repeat. Do 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 do. Right, the next bit. Do 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 do. Right, now that is a G. Do do do. This is like 2 strikes on each one. Do do do. Now we play an E minor, and all we do for this is from the G chord, 2 strikes. We standard G F shape on the 3rd fret, but put your pinky on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. That makes an E minor. Okay, and you just again aim at the top 4 strings. Keep your finger on, as usual, on the bottom E string. Just aim at the top 4 strings. Okay, with your rhythm hand. Okay, so 2, and the 3rd chord is an A minor 7. The way I play it, barring the 5th fret, and the 3rd finger goes up to the 7th fret of the 5th string, the A string. You could just play an A minor. You could get away with an A minor if you want, barring the top 3 strings on the 5th fret, 1st finger, and the 7th fret of the 5th string and the 4th string with your 3rd finger and pinky. You could get away with that if you wanted to, but I prefer the A minor 7th if you can make it. So you've got G to E minor to A minor 7th, all 2 strikes, and then finally the D7th again for 2 strikes. So do 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 do. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the G, and another 4 on the D7. And then it starts all over again. Okay, so I'll just take you through the first bit, including the intro. Okay. Do 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 do. Okay, so that's the whole first verse. Then we start all over again, exactly the same. Do do. Second verse. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Now this time, after the second verse, the rhythm just stays on G for 2 bars. So it's 8, count of 8 on the G. You don't go to the D7. So it's do 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we change, okay, to the next part of the song, which is that that bit that goes, that bit. Okay, now the lead part, right? The simple lead part, okay, for the actual lead bit for the verse, okay, that. Okay, got that. Now this is quite easy really, okay, so we're starting on the second string, the B string, on the 8th fret, and then we play that, and then the 7th fret of the top E string, okay, right, and then we go to the 10th fret on the second string, 10th fret second string. Then we go to the 8th fret on the top E string. Twice. Okay, and at this point you do a little hammer and pull off sort of thing. Okay, so it's, and what you do is you hammer up from 7 to 8 and pull off to back to 7. Okay, so you got, and then you go back to that 10th on the second. So it's, sorry, I think I've got a little visitor behind me, don't worry. And then you go back to that 8th on the second, and you just repeat the whole thing, okay? So it's like, okay, and the second time round, when you come back again for the next time, it's, so that's 8 on the second, to 7 on the top E, back to 8 on the second, to 9 on the third. Okay, so let's do that very slowly. Okay, got that. Then we do this little climb from, on the third string, G string, from 5 to 7. Sorry, just that little climb there from 5, 6, 7 on the third string. So you got so far. Okay, and finally those 3 notes, and that's 5, fret 5 on the 5th string, and then to 7 on the 5th, and then end up on the 5th on the 4th string, the D string. That's 3 notes. Okay, so the whole verse bit, okay, is okay. And at that point, what I did on my demo version was to play the bass solo bit that we played at the beginning of the song. So when you come out of that, and then you're off into the second verse, which is exactly the same. Okay, so it's, okay, and that point is where the rhythm does 8 counts on G. Okay, so at that point we'll leave it and we'll come back again in part 2 for the bit that goes like that. That bit, okay? So thanks very much for watching, hope that made sense to you, and I'll see you in part 2. Bye for now.